Man, y'all need to start tuning in to the YouTube channel, The Bengals Genius Show.
I'm back, baby. Bengal Genius getting ready for the Kansas City Chiefs Cincinnati Bengals showdown coming New Year's Eve. That means today. It's late. It's 1:25 a.m. I just got done watching that Lions-Cowboys debacle. The referees once again blow it. Now here is my problem, NFL, and I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but this is what it looks like to us small market guys. It looks like the referees benefit in some way for creating the best matchups. And in these situations, magically some crappy call appears, much like the Bengals at Super Bowl 56 when they forgot the false start and then called the bogus holding penalty on Logan Wilson. But the Lions tonight got totally hosed on that penalty where it came to the declaring who's a tackle eligible. I mean, you guys blew it, and it's just like you can't. It's so blatantly obvious something's fishy because it's always the small market teams that get screwed by these calls. Now, it's funny watching Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs complain and pout now that the calls aren't going their way, but it is what it is. So that's just my thoughts on the officiating. Nothing we can do about it. You got to overcome the bad officiating. And now we take a look at the game, and it's going to be a toughie. Which Jake Browning is the real Jake Browning? I mean, on the one hand, he had those games where he looks really good, efficient, and putting up phenomenal numbers, and then something about them Steelers. Now, the Steelers obviously run a different defense than the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Chiefs' defense has been strong. Are there some tendencies starting to show up on film? Could be. Not sure. We're going to find out tomorrow. Now, Jamar Chase looks like he's probably going to play, but I'm ecstatic that Cam Taylor-Britt is going to play. Now, I have a theory that the Bengals have been DL game planning and building their team to stop the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think that's why Myles Murphy was drafted. And I think that Lou is going to have something up his sleeve tomorrow, and the Chiefs' starting left tackle is out, and of course they lost our boy that we signed from them guys. You know who I'm talking about, Brown. Orlando Brown Jr., and that is going to hurt them. And the whole time I've been saying the difference in those games were the offensive line protection. But there's no Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow was in this game, I would be a slam dunk winneroo. But as we know, he's hurt. So will Jake Browning be able to pull this bad boy off? I hope so. I want to beat the Chiefs so bad, and they got humiliated on Christmas Day. We got humiliated on Christmas Eve, so both teams are going to try to save face, and I think it's going to be a tight game going back and forth. Hopefully. I'm hoping we don't get blown out. I mean, last week left me with very little confidence, but I do think Cam Taylor-Britt is a huge game changer because they've been struggling so bad in the secondary. Awuzie is having a hard time bouncing back from that knee injury. So we're going to see what's going to happen. And like I said, I want to make the playoffs personally. I think that any which way you cut it, let's say that Jake Browning gets us to the playoffs. Teams are so quarterback hungry that they could trade something for him. Worst case scenario, we sign him to a reasonable deal and we got a really good backup. And I can't wait for Joe Burrow to come back next year. This whole year's been out of sync and funky, man. This year has sucked. But what's strange though is that if we win the next two games, we're 10-7, which would be the same record we had our Super Bowl season. It doesn't feel the same, that's for sure. But what I like about Joe, like I said, is that the way in these most stressful moments he can keep his cool, and I'm hoping Jake Browning can take a page from his book, and I think that's easier said than done. But, hey, you know we're rooting for our boy. So what do I expect to happen? I expect a close game. It's going to be tough for us to pull this one out. I'm not going to bet on the Bengals on this game, but So you know what I'm saying, but I'm not going to say it. I refuse to do it. But it's going to be tough. But you never know, man. And you know, you know what's hard about the NFL or being a football fan is like when your team loses, it feels like you suck the most balls in the NFL. It's like we're hopeless. It's hopeless. Then when you win, it's like we're unbeatable. Can't be stopped. You know, and that's what makes it tough. That's what makes it tough sport to be a fan of. But you know, surprising me is the Browns. The Browns, that guy, their coach, is doing a phenomenal job. That team, they just became the first team to make the playoffs or something with 4 or 5 different starting quarterbacks. That's pretty impressive. And they lost Chubb, and and they lost their starting left tackle. I got to hand it to that guy. He is doing a great job. Browns coach should be coach of the year, but I still hate you guys and hope you guys lose in the first round of the playoffs. And you never know. It might just be us that does it to you. So we got to win tomorrow. It's still not over if we don't, but we got to win. All right. Well, Happy New Year. I will talk to you after the game tomorrow. I got some big things coming up. Whatever. All right. Hooday. Talk to you tomorrow. Oh, that's my dog. What? All right. Dog says time to go. Shut up. All right. Talk to you soon. All right. Talk to you soon. See what I deal with? This is what I deal with on a daily basis. Nonsense. All right. Let's go. Talk to you tomorrow.
Man, y'all need to start tuning in to the YouTube channel, The Bengals Genius Show.